For live.
Yes.
Hello, I'm Prem Kumar, nutritionist. Today is an um, our very speaker celebrity, and I will introduce you, Dr. Prachiti Punde, MBBS DA, and certified life coach, celebrity speaker, trainer, neuroplasticity, and neuroscience trained, emotional intelligence certified, NLP masters, and EFT practitioner, certified CBT practitioner, certified hypnotherapist, certified mindfulness practitioner level 1, 2, 3, and masters, and WEAA. We are for India, Mrs. India winner 2020. It's very good. And
Thank
Vice
you.
President of SST Fashion College, Latur.
Can
President,
you share the slide, Prem? Can you share the slide?
yeah, I will share this. Yeah. Um,
Yes. Continue.
and Vice President of SST Fashion College, Latur, President Abjita Mahila Kendra, and Karmala Faculty Guest Lecturer at School of Fashion Technology, Pune, Mediqueen Style Icon 2020, and WEAA Mrs. Talented, and Pradhana Mantri KVY Sanmanit 2016, Mahila Excellence Award 2015, Mrs. Fish Global International Best Speaker Award Noida, Rashtra Mata Jijaju Puraskar Duldana, Brand Ambassador of WA Jaipur, Brand Ambassador of LA Global Foundation Delhi, Pune Director of Fashion Genius Pageants, and featured in many renowned newspapers and articles. And she is ambassador for so many, or so many things. She is ambassador for so many things, and she is none other than Dr. Prasdeep Kunde. Let's welcome to our session. Welcome,
Thank
Doctor.
you, Prem. Thank you for such a grand introduction of mine. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah. And can I, will you give some little bit introduction about yourself?
Yes. So, hello to all the viewers over there. Hi, I'm Dr. Prachiti Punde. I'm an anesthetist by profession. Since last 16 years, I'm into allopathic practice. But since last 12 years, I have because of many insights, and I am a very interested into health topic as such. When my daughter and son were very ill at that time, I went into deeper studies of health sciences, like what causes diseases and what treatments, what other options could be done. Because when my son was very ill, and at that time we were giving him allopathic drugs, which were kind of sedatives. And sedatives decrease the brain functioning capacities. They like my daughter used to have this tonsils and cough, and she was on 2 3 antibiotics at a time. And being a doctor and into a lot of studies as such, I knew that antibiotics cause a change in your DNA levels, which then increases the chances of disease as you grow elder, like hypertension, BP, diabetes. Like, it's a process. As a child you're born healthy, but what are the changes that takes you to that level in adulthood where you develop BP, thyroid, cancer, and such dreadful diseases? So that made me study a lot, and then I shifted my learning skills from allopathy to homeopathic medicine, and then to Ayurveda, to Panchamahattatva. I've done Shivambu Sadhana. I've done a lot of healing therapies. Also, I'm a life coach, and as Prem has read it out all, I've done human psychological studies, mindfulness practitioner 1 2 3. Because since my eighth class, I'm into meditation. So yes, and since last 10 years, I haven't taken any allopathic medicine, nor my family members have taken. So yes, that's, I think, for today's heart health, this introduction is really sufficient, Prem.
Yeah. And just I will ask a question actually. Tell me
Yes.
about you and your book, a little bit information on it.
Yeah. So my niche area, because since from my eighth class I'm into spirituality practices, and I'm kind of introspecting myself, because in eighth, no girl knows like what religious practices are, what meditation is. So what I knew at that time was introspecting, asking questions myself, self-reflecting upon myself, what life is, what events are, why situations happen, what to learn from them, what maturity is, what understanding is. And then I was into this habit of self-reflection continuously. And this slowly developed into further studies into like mindfulness practicing, etc., etc. And then I have developed this niche area of self mastery. So my book is all about self mastery. I have life coached more than 5,000 patients in last 12 years, apart from my clinical practice of 16 years. So what I have developed is my niche area of speaking is self mastery, wherein I train people, I coach people, and in my book, I have given insights on what self mastery actually means. Why can you build a strong foundation? Self mastery basically is your total mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health aspect, where you have the control and the power within you, where you are not suppressed or pressurized by external circumstances. You create the life that you want. You don't live the life that is going on. Rather, you create that kind of life which you want to live. And self mastery just teaches us an attitude and mindset of coming out of this victim mindset mentality. You know, people most of the times they keep on talking that zamana aisa hai, like the world is like this, the politics is like this. Recently, the quarantine is like this. We are all stuck in the home. What can we do? So we continuously blame other people, the situations, the surroundings, the circumstances. Self mastery teaches you to come out of this victim mindset mentality to go into a leadership mentality. It teaches you from just being busy all the time to being productive all the time, like working only 20% and gaining 80% results. In my book of self mastery and my life coaching skills, I also teach from saying that no, I can't do this, I can do that, to being saying that yes, it is possible, I can do this, I can do that. Only thing is, you cannot work out from a place of convenience, from a place of comfort zone. Rather, you have to work from a place of conviction. And then it is where you come out of this critical mindset mentality to creative mindset mentality. So, yes, my book, my coaching, and everything all is about this self mastery.
And today's topic, what is mean by holistic physical health?
Yeah. So, holistic health. Basically, holistic. What does the word holistic mean? You know, holy means spiritual. Holy means divine. Holy means blessing. Spiritual doesn't mean religion. Spiritual doesn't mean the exactly the spirits. It does mean spirit, but in a different sense. What spirit and holistic means is your alignment of the human body with the nature. So first of all, what holistic is a complete set of your mind, body, and your spirits. So it is the heart, mind, body, and the soul. These four things together form the holistic health. So health is something which is in totality. What we see in allopathy is only the physical health. What doctors do is they check your BP. They suppose if you are a heart patient, you have got BP or got heart diseases or a heart attack. What do allopathic doctors do is they check your heart conditions, they check your blood pressure, they do blood investigations. They see you externally. So all these things are external. But what about the process that has caused these diseases? What allopathy does is it just treats the symptoms of the disease, but it does not cure the cause of the disease. So suppose if you have started a tablet for BP, right, hypertension, or you have started a tablet for sugar, that is glucose, high BSL levels. So if you have started tablets for these, by taking allopathic tablets for a period of 2, 3, 5 years, you should be cured. But once a BP patient, you have to take the pill for lifelong. Once a sugar patient, you have to take the pill for lifelong. So why is this? Because you're just treating the symptom, you're not treating the cause. And of course, allopathic medicine is important in emergencies. It is important for certain tumors, cancers, or dreadful conditions. Each and every pathy like allopathy, homeopathy, allied sciences, human psychology. Everybody has their own role to play. But
Yes.
if we say prevention is better than cure, right? So if we are
Yes.
working on our self mastery levels, if we are working on our health conditions from the beginning of the basics of knowledge, then we do not need such medicines. So allopathy, what allopathy does is it treats the cause. Sorry, it treats the symptoms, not the cause. And what causes the disease is a combination of all of these four aspects, which I stated, that mind, body, health, and heart. Heart does not refer to the physical heart. Heart refers to your heart conditions, like the sometimes you feel in your heart, you feel those emotions in your heart. So heart refers to that condition. And let me state you here that why we have taken this holistic approach to physical health. That is because the term dis-ease, if you see it and split it, it itself shows that there is some kind of dis-ease. You are not at ease with your own self. So when you are not at ease with your own self, that causes diseases. And the spirit causes the causes main causes of diseases, any kind of diseases, maybe heart health or any other health. Spirit causes 50% diseases. The mental health causes 25% of diseases. And let me tell you, diseases right from blood pressure, cancer, heart attacks, to abdominal tumors, to any thyroid conditions, endocrinal conditions, immunological diseases. I'm stating about everything. Mental health affects 25%. Social causes are 15%. Then your physical causes are 10%. So now you know why holistic approach for health is important. Yes, Prem.
Generally, what as a allopathy doctor, what made you move into the holistic healing techniques? Generally, what made you to move into the holistic healing techniques?
Yeah. So as I stated already that I am an allopathic doctor. But then when I started my medical practice 16 years back, I used to see patients with acidity. Like I do OPD. I see almost 100 to 120 patients per day. And then I saw that people keep on having this anxiety issues, this panic attacks, and they fear many of the conditions. They're into anger state, and the disease keeps on repeating. There is more and more recurrence of the diseases. They require more and more tablets. Their immunity is decreased with a period of time. And certainly, I found allopathy having some kind of restrictions as compared to treating the cause of the disease rather than symptom of the disease. Secondly, I mentioned about my kids' own health. Like one fine time, my daughter was so ill; she was having a cold and cough and tonsils and adenoids, and she was already on three antibiotics. But then we had to shift her on steroids. So then I thought that repeatedly giving steroids to a small child, when she was 6 years, is not justified. And then I went into further studies, and I did all these kinds of allied sciences and allied medicine studies. And then what I found was that health is a balance of your holistic health, which is the body, mind, heart, and spirit health. So, if you really want to achieve this spirit health, you have to know yourself first of all. That what you are. Each and every individual is different. Like suppose, say, I require a heavy breakfast as soon as I get up in the morning. So that is my area. Like we purchase a mobile, right? We purchase a mobile. We know what the mobile works, what charging
Yes.
does it require, what is its mechanism, which button functions for which conditions. We have the control of this mobile. We are having TV, so we are having the remote control for TV. But what about us? Do we know ourselves really very well? Do we know what controls us? Or we have given our controls the way the environment is acting. Like, suppose, say, there is too much cold outside, there is dark and dull outside. Immediately, you start feeling dark and dull inside. You feel sad immediately. At one moment, you feel sad, at the other moment, you feel energetic. So, this is not health. The external conditions are affecting you all the while. So this is also not health. So what health basically is, what I came to a conclusion that health is basically A balance where immediately after waking up, you are fully energetic to work. Two things you can ask to yourself: am I energetic all the while for work? Am I doing this work happily? And the second thing is, am I compassionate enough with others around me all the while? Suppose if you are getting angry, irritated, if you are getting sad, dull, then this is not health. So you have to know yourself. For uncovering the true essence, here are just few 7 points which I'll just mention without elaborating, because you have to awaken the warrior within you. Because knowing yourself is not that easy. You just have to sit with yourself, introspect yourself, and I have seen many men and women just run away from their emotions. They just shut down their emotions. They do not want to face it, do not want to think about their emotions, what exactly they are feeling. Many of, like 50% of the men, they go into rationalized thinking and behaviors, because what they feel is the world is rational, the society is rational. We just have to fit in the society and we have to work accordingly. We have to have rational mindsets, and emotions have no role. So it is not like this. If you are suppressing your emotions, then you are suppressing your own conditions of mind, which will lead to diseases. So
Yeah, are there
you
any
can,
similar analogies like this?
yeah.
Holistic approach like this, similar analogies will you
So for
give
the
information on
analogy,
it?
yes. So these are the three analogies which I have found out for you. So first one was a lady. She's Lousy. Her name was Lousy, and she's the American lady. From the age of 5 to 15 years, she was being raped all the while. So what mindset she had developed is that people are bad, men are not to be trusted anymore. The world is bad, and she has no right to live peacefully, because that's the way she saw. Like 10 years were totally into negativity, so she developed a very negative approach to each and everything. And then she always hated herself, she hated the society, she hated the world. She decided to become a nun, as like, because she always hated men. At the age of 40 years, suddenly she found that she developed cancer. So when she developed cancer, at that time she was thinking that the people who abused me, the people who cursed me, they are in their well state, like they are not affected. But what who is affected is me, like because of her own negative thoughts. And because she became a nun, she had studied the Bible, she had studied the spiritual sciences, the spiritual texts and all. And then she knew that negative thinking is something which is bad. We cannot carry negativity all the while, and we cannot be arrogant, we cannot be angry, hatred, jealousy. All these things might have created cancer in her. So then she decided to cleanse her mind. She decided to heal all these and send peace to all those people. When she did this, within 2 years of her lifespan, she was cured of the cancer. Literally, without any allopathic medicine, she cured her cancer. And then, till the age, she lived till the age of 90 years, when she was told that she will just die in 1 year itself. Secondly, till the from 40 to 90 years, she was preaching all the way. She gave many lectures on how to heal, and then she also has written a very nice book that you can heal yourself. In this book, she has mentioned each and emotion, what emotion causes and affects which part of your body, and which part of diseases is carried. So, in this book, she has mentioned it very clearly and very nicely. There is similar another analogy also, which is of a man. So this is Brandon Bayes. So he had an abdominal tumor, and he had an abdominal tumor of the size of a football. And what his doctor said, that you have to be admitted immediately, and tomorrow we'll have to operate you. Because Brandon had studied emotional intelligence techniques, and he knew the connection between body, mind, and emotions. See, body, mind, and emotions is something which we talk in CBT, like cognitive behavioral therapy and emotional intelligence techniques. So, body, mind, and emotion are connected together. So then, because Brandon had studied all of these things, he decided, and he told the doctor, just give me 1 month time. I'll do some certain healing techniques on myself, and then we'll repeat the scan again, the sonography again. Within 1 month, his tumor was regressed to half the size. And then he continued with his healing techniques, and then he also came up with this nice book called The Journey. And there's third such analogy of a doctor himself. So this doctor basically is Dr. Deepak Chopra. He's an endocrinologist, he's in a research center basically. So Dr. Deepak was doing a lot of cancer operations, and then he thought that if I am operating the cancer tumor very well, like I am removing the tumor from the root cause, but then still, why does cancer recur? There were again the recurrences of cancer and the tumors in the patients which he had operated. So then he studied on cellular level, like what are the mother cells, the daughter cells, and etc. And then he came up with this cellular science techniques. And then he shifted his profession from being an endocrinologist of an allopathic doctor to a cellular healing practitioner. So yeah, these are the three analogies, like how and why health is so much important. Holistic health, if you really want to be healthy in all the terms.
And what about heart health from holistic viewpoint?
Yes. So coming to heart health, let me ask you, where do you feel the strong emotions? If you are having really very strong emotions, somebody has judged you, somebody has hurted you very badly, a close person, a nearby person has hurted you very badly, or you see in these love couples, like the couples who are into relationships or the husband wife, you see they are having so much of pain in their heart. Where all these emotions are felt, they are felt in the heart. Most of the times, if a person is having fear or anxiety, why heart health is so important? If a patient is having fear or anxiety, you see that there is immediately a rise in their heart rate, the heart beats faster, there is a rise in bp, the adrenaline secretion is high. And literally I have seen patients where they having intense fear. If they're having intense fear, there is a huge chest tightness. I don't know whether any one of you have faced this kind of a fear, but if there is extreme fear, or in kids who are very frightful and afraid, you can ask them. There is an intense tightness feeling on the chest. So fear also has an effect on heart. If you're very much angry, what anger causes is anger causes very much fast rise in your heart rate again and in your blood pressure levels. So anger is the major cause for deteriorating the health of your heart. Also, I have seen patients in my OPD where patients come in emergency that he's having a heart attack, having a heart attack, he's having left shoulder pain. Like the sign of heart attack is having left sided shoulder pain. But most of the times, this kind of a heart attack is also because of acidity. If you are very much stressed out and if you are having too much of acidity, chest burning in the chest and all, then it can also resemble an heart attack. You have the all those symptoms wherein you have left-sided shoulder pain and rise in BP because of anxiety. Here, the rise in BP is because of anxiety. And why the heart health is most important is we say that hurt people. Like if a person is hurted from, you see around you, you just now try and remember which people are very arrogant, very stressed out, very reactive in their emotions all the while, like getting angry, getting irritable, even in smaller things, because they have been hurt somewhere in the past. If they have hurt in the past and they have not healed their heart, they keep on hurting others because of their behaviors. So heart health is really important. Yes, Prem. So, yes, anxiety, what it might look as, here, this is a
So what
scene to this.
precautionary measures can heart health can take for heart health? What precautionary measures can we take for heart health?
Yeah, so for the precautionary measures, just first of all, I want to state that why you have to heal first, because you have to understand it is not the acidity which is important. Can you show the slide? It is not the acidity which is important, but the mental stress causes acidity. It is not the spicy food. As I told you, physically only 10% of the things affect your health. Whatever you eat, whatever do you do exercise, but if you are not managing your own emotions, if you are not managing your heart conditions, your social causes, the way you relate with yourself, the way you relate with others, and the way you relate with your past. These three precautionary measures you have to take. So why we say hypertension? We say there is a rise in BP in the heart patients. It is because of salt, but it is not because of salt, but it is because of improper management of emotions. We say that there are cholesterol increased in patients because of fats or eating more fatty food. But it is not because cholesterol doesn't come because of fatty food, but mostly the 50% cause is laziness. So if a person is very lazy, you can see, because tell me, there are how many smokers who are chronically smoking but do not have cancer? You know this? And how many people are non-smokers but they still develop lung cancer? So why that lung cancer is there? That is because of sadness. The health of the lungs is decreased, or you have asthmas, not because of lack of O2 or because they are not doing pranayam, they are not doing exercises. Even patients who are doing pranayam regularly, who are living a very healthy lifestyle, who are very disciplined, who are not listening to their mind but following that discipline. So, not listening to your mind, not listening to your heart again will cause diseases. So you have to be into a balance of physical conditions as well as mental conditions. So even we say blood sugar, people are having diabetes. You see now after this video, I think that you should go around and actually check sugar patients. Are they very selfish? Are they very adamant? Check their behaviors. You check out patients who are having BP, hypertension, and heart conditions. Check out whether they are not properly managing their emotions. Are they very rational in their thoughts? Are they suppressing their emotions? Check out people who are having asthmas. Like I know many of them. So yeah, these conditions cause illnesses. And first, the way I told you that to manage your health properly, you have to first manage how you relate to yourself, how you see into yourself, what you self reflect upon yourself, what you are capable of, what stresses are you carrying, how you relate to others. Because heart health is very important when we relate to others. We are social human beings, right? We are not gurus or sadhus who or monks who are living in mountains where we do not have people around us. So we are having our family, we love people, we love our friends, we love our kids. And if they have certain emotional conditions and we are having certain emotional conditions, then that also causes an impact on our heart health. It can increase our BP, it can increase our anxiety, it can increase our stress related disorders. And people do not have sudden heart attacks. Like, we are not here to discuss like why a person is having heart attack. In the emergency heart attack, he has to go to the hospital, he has to be admitted towards the allopathic doctor. Here what we are talking about is how can we prevent the person from reaching this heart health condition, from wellness to illness, from illness to having BP, from having BP to moving towards increased in cholesterol, increased in heart conditions, and from this state to heart attack. Because heart attack doesn't come suddenly, it is a prolonged process. The heart starts damaging, and the body is very strong, it is not that weak. It still bees with you, and it is still protected, it is still having a very strong foundation and system. Only if you, for the consistent 5 6 7 years, you're not paying attention to yourself, yes, these things you can land up in these things. So how you relate to yourself, how you relate to others, and how you relate to your past. Because continuously, if you're into your past bad memories and past hurts which you're carrying with yourself, then you cannot clear and you cannot heal your heart. So
Uh,
yes, these are the, yes, ask me.
yeah, I totally agree with you. So if you day you wake up, whatever you eat today, it will not immediately affect for the heart. For the
Yes, exactly.
continuously, for so many years, whatever you have been taken for our intake of the food and our exercises, habits, or not sleeping well, or we didn't care much more positivity. Might be these all things for the long years. I'll totally agree with this point. Affect the health. Not it's not like an instantly. It doesn't happen mostly.
Exactly. So here I have just 7 things to keep in mind that your past cannot be changed, but your attitude towards your past can be changed. You can only fail if you quit, because people, they do not like failing nowadays. Like, people want to keep on progressing. Why people are stressed? Because they just want to carry their image in the society. They want this, they want to achieve more and more and more all the time. Like, when will enough be enough? Like, okay, I have done this and this is enough, I can live a peaceful life. It's never the same, because people do want to keep progressing, which is good, but it should be balanced all the while. So always, and people do not take rejections. Like, when people have heart attacks is also when they fail severely in the society or in some project. And you have to say that sometimes no means, when people do say that no, you have to learn to accept. I have seen people on big posts, like bosses and company CEOs, who are not ready, who are always in this bossing attitude. And when an employee, or when their daughters, or when the people around us say that no, I will not do this work, they immediately take up on their heart. Like, they say that how can you not listen to me, am I wrong somewhere? And then they try and control you. In trying and controlling you, they are losing their own health. So these people have to understand that sometimes no just means that not right now, but might be sometime later. So these are just belief systems which we have to clear in our minds. Their opinions don't define your reality. Happiness is not external to you, but happiness is found inside you. Those closed, so better ones can open. And be proud to be yourself. Like, accept yourself the way you are. Accept yourself with your strengths, with your weaknesses. You can work on your weaknesses, but then accept, don't try and push yourself beyond your limits. Once you are beyond your limits, your body will land from being at ease to dis-ease. This is how dis-ease can be created. And also here, what because of this corona and quarantine situation right now, which is still not under control, I would also like to mention, because we are talking about health, that what are the identities. Like, we need a strong immunity in these few months. So if you're balanced in your diet, in your health, physical, mental health, then your immune system is not at all in a danger, but it is very healthy condition. Your immune system is in a healthy condition. But if you are very sensitive, then your body responds in a big way to smaller triggers. That is how the immunity goes on decreasing. If you are very angry, then you can have low levels of cell activation, joint pains, brain fogging, fatigue. If you are withdrawn, like withdrawn from the society, from the people, then you can, it is most likely that you will catch every bug. It is also likely that you can possibly land up into this disease. And if you're confused, then the immune system attacks itself, and it has immunity disorders like SLE, psychological disorders and conditions in the body. So yeah, these emotions are there which are even affecting your immune system. So you can just now know that how important really it is to have this balanced state and holistic approach for health. Yes, Prem. I'm not able to hear you.
Muted the mic.
Okay.
Um, I think 7 things to keep in mind will be really helpful to be more positive and to be more energetic and to move ourselves into out of our comfort zone until you more healthily ourselves. Especially
Yes.
for the mental health, these things, 7 things will be really helpful. Yeah, even a compassion and energetic.
So why compassion is written very broadly? Because the health initially was defined as a balanced state of mind and body, right, by the World Health Organization. Then the definition changed, because if a person is healthy but he's going around streets and bullying people, shouting at people, yelling at people, then it is not health, right? It is not a mental condition which is healthy. So then the definition was changed, that health is basically mental, physical, and social health of a person. So whenever health is defined also as if you are energetic enough to work, excited enough for work, and if you are compassionate throughout the day with others, then you are in total health of your mind and body.
Any
So
other
I
things
think
you want to share? Any other things you want to share for which is helpful for the viewers?
yes. So for the viewers, I would just like to state that just pause. Take a pause from your daily routines. Whenever you are stressed, take a pause. Whenever you are angry, take a pause. Whenever you are worried, take a pause. We have enough and ample time. We have a life of 70 to 90 years, depending on how you control your emotions. Because if you are in very good control of your emotions, not suppressing your emotions, controlling emotions doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. Even if you are angry, even if you are having hatred for somebody, you just have to accept that, okay, I'm hating this person, so you have to be in comfort with yourself also. But before reacting, you can just take a pause, be quiet, and just rule out that why you are hating that person, why you are jealous of the front person. You have to resolve these emotions. You cannot just suppress these emotions, or you just cannot react to these emotions, because there is this phenomena of oneness of everybody. You know, we all are spiritual beings, and there is universal oneness. Like if I am loving if I am loving myself and the other person, then my cells are in alignment and they are everybody is loving each other. But if I'm hating a person, then my cells do not know that I am hating other person, because they feel that I am hating myself only, and then the cells tend to react and they tend to hate each other. So instead of being stressed, you just take a pause. Whenever angry, whenever in doubt, whenever in jealousy, whenever in stress, you can always take a pause of 5 minutes. How much time does it take? Only 5 minutes. So you can always take a pause. You can heal those emotions, feel those emotions. And if you are not feeling those emotions, if you are really very rational, you can still start now. Still you can try and feel your emotions. And just do one experiment, like go around everywhere now. From after this video, just go around, check out the BP patients, maybe your relatives, maybe check out the blood sugar patients, like how jealous and how selfish BP patients are. People will beat me I feel. But just go and check out the nature of the people and the diseases that they are carrying. You know, if a person is not ill at all, like few people I have seen, they say that, oh, I never catch coughs and colds, and since last 5 years I have never had any kind of disease. But it is good to have minor diseases, because if you are not having minor diseases, one day suddenly these people will land up into tumors or cancers.
Yes.
So yeah, this is the
Is there
ending message
anything
which
you
I would
lastly,
like
for
to.
closing, anything you want to share with the viewers? For lastly, you want to anything, any
Yeah, so,
statement, any quotation, or anything you will share before closing
yeah.
the
So
session?
yeah, so for the concluding session, as I said, take a pause. And if you want a really good proverb from me, then I can suggest you on self mastery, because I've been talking a lot about self mastery. So, self mastery is all about a consistently disciplined nature. Self mastery is all about consistently having the self discipline of understanding yourself, clarifying and deepening your personal vision. So, what personal vision? Clarifying and deepening your personal vision of focusing your energies, where you are focusing your energies. The second thing is developing patience. If you have developed 10% patience, extend it to 20, extend it to 30. It is a consistent process. Like you cannot say that I have developed enough patience, because the world is almost full of negativity. And you have to keep on developing patience. So if you need to be stable, you continuously keep on developing patience. And the third thing is seeing reality objectively. What happens is we just are blinded to realities. We do not want to see the realities. We perceive things according to our own thoughts. We perceive things according to our own adjustment. We perceive things according to the reality that we want to see, not what actually is existing. So self mastery is all about focusing your energies. It is your developing patience and seeing reality objectively. Just work on this, and you will find definitely nicer results. You'll also have my book, which is upcoming in next month. Because of this quarantine, the printing and all things are taking time. But you can also check out my book. And I would like to ask all the viewers to go and please check out my YouTube channel, where I have a lot of videos. I'm talking about the 12 aspects of life on self mastery, and you'll find many insights. The name of my YouTube channel is Prachiti Punde. Thank you,
Yeah,
Prem.
please. Yeah, thanks and for giving this very good, useful information. Viewers, please go to the channel and get the book and get benefited and become a self mastery and become a grateful for your lives. Or you will achieve your dreams. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, all the viewers. Thank you, Prem, for inviting me.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks.